His name is Jeffrey Galler. So they're about to start this. We'll stick our mic there.
Everybody ready? Once again, we find ourselves, dealing with a shooting incident this morning here in Harford County. Our thoughts and prayers are certainly with the family members of those who have lost their life here this morning. Families that, as we know all too well, are going to be forever impacted by the events that occurred. Around 8:58 this morning, a report of a shooting at Advanced Granite Solutions in the 2100 block of Emmorton Park Road, as you all know, just down the hill behind us. Deputies were on the scene within 4 minutes, arriving at 9:02 a.m., where they discovered 5 people suffering from gunshot wounds. Currently, we have lost 3 of those people. 3 have passed away. It is the result of a handgun. It looks like a single weapon was used in this incident. This is all very early preliminary information. I'll qualify that. We're trying to give you timely but the very best information that we have. We have identified the suspect in this case as Radee Labeeb Prince, a black male born 11/5/79. And we do have a photo of the suspect, and it is going to be, has it gone out on our social media?
Right after this will go out on our...
It'll be out on our social media here very shortly. There's an active search, as you see, joined by many, if not all, the law enforcement, certainly all from Harford County, our federal partners, our state partners, the state police and the Transportation Authority, the FBI, the Drug Enforcement Administration are all on scene assisting with this investigation. We know that the suspect left driving a 2000 black Chevy Acadia with a Delaware tag of P. Paul C. Charles 064273. Early reports involved another vehicle, a Dodge Charger. That vehicle has been located and has been eliminated from the search. As far as we know, the suspect is still in that black Acadia. Again, I have to thank our law enforcement partners and our county partners. We have set up a reception center working, and the county executive, Mr. Glassman, is here with us as well. We've set up a reception center for the families over at the Richland Ballroom behind us, and for people who are coming, and that's being overseen by the Department of Emergency Services. This does appear to be a target attack limited to that business. So with that, I am going to take, we are asking that if anyone sees the suspect, he obviously armed and dangerous. We don't want anyone to take action on their own. We want you to dial 911 and let us know. So with that, I am going to...
Do you know the relationship between the suspect and either anybody there or that business?
We do believe he is associated with that business. What that association is, that's still under investigation, but we believe he's associated with that business.
You can't say, was he recently terminated? Was he recently fired?
I don't know whether he is, I don't know if he has an employment status or has been separated, so we're just going to say he's associated with the business.
Can you tell us anything about the people who were killed? Are they employees of the business?
All 5 individuals who were shot, including the 3 who are deceased at this point, do appear to have all been employees of the business, so we are still trying to identify and make notifications.
Sure, Felix, can you give us the suspect's full name again? And what is
Spelling.
his connection to whatever's going on right now?
Right. His name is Radee, R-A-D-E-E, Labeeb, L-A-B-E-E-B, Prince, P-R-I-N-C-E, with a date of birth of 11/5/79. There was a residence of interest in Cecil County that we have gone to and we have been through in our manhunt, and obviously the suspect was not located there, but that is where we found the car. The second car that was mentioned is possibly a vehicle associated with the suspect.
Do you believe that car that happened
We do not. We do not.
we're looking for
At this
one
point,
suspect and one car?
At this point, we are looking for just this suspect. 100%. We do not believe there were others involved at this point of the investigation. We do not believe that anyone else was involved in this incident other than the person I just gave you the name of and operating that Chevy Acadia when he left.
You consider him armed and dangerous?
Are you familiar with him? Has he had any run-ins with law enforcement?
I do know that he has a criminal history. I have not seen the entire extent of his criminal history.
Even though he targeted this business, you still consider him armed and dangerous?
Oh, absolutely. There's a individual out there on the loose who committed, one of the most heinous acts we've ever seen in our county. Certainly, we consider him armed and dangerous.
What was the narrative? What happened in there? Was this an ambush? Did he burst in? I mean,
that's still, investigators are just getting into the business, just being able to begin their steps. So to speak to motive would be way too preliminary, or to how this occurred. Okay.
Have you had any reports of Chris from the road? Any sightings of him?
There have been several reports, and we encourage, if you think it might be the vehicle or the suspect, we encourage you to call. There have been several tips. None of those have panned out to be a lead that led us to the suspect at this point.
Is this a Delaware tag or Maryland?
Delaware tag.
Delaware tag.
Yes. No, we do not believe that there's an immediate threat to anything in the community. We do believe that this was targeted with the qualifier that there is an armed and dangerous suspect out there. So certainly, we want people always to be cognizant of their surroundings and be on the lookout for this vehicle and this suspect.
You mentioned that you believe Prince used a handgun to shoot victims. Any reports of any other weapons?
We at this point, we believe it just to be one handgun that was used in this crime. I'm gonna have to wrap, so real quick.
Can you did the witnesses give any idea of how this unfolded this morning?
They are speaking. We have many witnesses speaking to investigators, and to say anything beyond that would, could jeopardize the investigation. So I'm gonna let that go. We're gonna get back together in a few hours,
Yes, sir.
and hopefully we'll be able to release a little more information at that time.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Everyone who has been shot is in serious condition. The two who were not deceased at the scene were transported to a local trauma center. So, serious injuries.
For people who might have loved ones they're concerned about, what advice do you have for them?
If you have a loved one who works at the business, the granite and tile business, then we would ask you not to respond to the scene, respond to the Richland Ballroom, to the reception center for the families, so that we can meet you there. That would be the best offering at this point. And again, our thoughts and prayers go out. We have lost 3 lives so far this morning here in Harford County, and our thoughts and prayers go out to those families.
How many other people were in the business at the time?
I do not know.
What is the name of the business?
Good. Advanced Granite Solutions.
Advanced Granite.
Right.
Were all 3 victims employees of Advanced Granite?
All 5 appear to be employees. Yes. So what we know at this point. I'll have to wrap it up there. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff.
All right, guys, we are live in the digital news room here in Washington, D.C. at Fox 5 D.C. And you just saw the first press conference here in Harford County. And they're sort of detailing the shooting that just occurred just a few hours ago in Edgewood, Maryland. Stay with us for more updates. If you're just on YouTube, that's where we're broadcasting this right now. Our air is also continuing on Fox 5, and we have that posted to our Facebook wall. So we're going to go quickly to a live shot that our Bob Barnard is doing. He's on the scene there. Let's go into him.
Route 24 here, and again, hey, ma'am, can I hold this up? We're on live TV for 1 second. Paulie, let me just get it on live TV 1 second. Here it is. My colleague Paul Wagner is here. So this again is the suspect. I know you guys have the name, and not sure. He has some affiliation with the business, the granite business, where 5 people were shot this morning, just around 9 o'clock, and 3 have been killed. Joining me is my colleague Paul Wagner. Paul, just coming up from D.C. as well. Pretty amazing stuff, pretty shocking. And the fact that this gunman who targeted a business is loose still, and we're hearing people talk about maybe in Cecil County he's been seen, or the car.
What we've been reporting on the way up via Skype from what we were hearing, and we had just got it on the air because they had put out a bolo as to a description. And so it was just a little while ago, it sounds to me, as if they knew exactly who they were looking for and that they had been able to get a picture, because I said on the air that he was born in '79, had a full beard, a scar on his face, And you can see from that photo that that matches the description that they had put out to the authorities. And so that's what we had heard at this point, and then there was just this one suspect. And so you, Bob, got here and were listening a little bit before I got here, so you may have a few more details that I don't have.
Yeah, what we do, and again, this happened at this business, that the employees, which were all 5 employees of the business who were targeted, you had 3 of them killed, 2 wounded. Of course, we've been calling it an active shooter situation. Not really. And Indira, while we're talking, just if you even if you want to pop off the tripod or whatever. I mean, you've got police here, you've got Homeland Security Police, you've got Hartford County Sheriff's officers, you've got Maryland State Police here as well, and so you've got a lot of law enforcement here. It was initially deemed an active shooter situation. Obviously, that's not the case anymore. You have a crime scene here with 3 people dead inside this business, which is across the street here, and 2 others critically wounded, and an armed and dangerous gunman who we've shown his picture and they've put out his name now, driving a car with Delaware plates, may be spotted in Cecil County. No indication that he's headed toward the DC area, but he is currently armed and dangerous. As we'll pop our camera off the tripod just because, again, we got here, guys, just in time to hear from the sheriff. And as I'm talking with my colleague, Paul Wagner, I just want to show you across the street here. This is Route 24. Paul, let's walk on down here. This is Route 24. And it's right off I-95 here, and you see a Motel 6. Indira, let's walk straight up a little bit further. Guys, you see this Motel 6. Earlier, there had been a lot of police tape around and in front of that Motel 6, which is next to a pizza shop, but we believe it's actually a granite business that's down that hill. And of course, the authorities are keeping us far enough away from the murder scene, from the shooting scene, so as to not get in the way of the investigation. But it is right across. This is Edgewood Road here. You're looking what the cars are going past the camera here on Route 24, which is an exit just north of Baltimore County off of I-95. And again, Baltimore's shock trauma hospital telling us that the 2 wounded patients they have are in critical condition. And again, you see for a while, guys, this whole area, there's a Denny's restaurant, a Sunoco gas station. We're in an Exxon gas station parking lot near a Burger King. This whole area was closed off, but has now been reopened for traffic, except to go on the other side of 24 down Edgewood Road. And again, you see Hartford County Sheriffs and Maryland State Police who are here gathering, getting the information, having to deal with the families of the murder victims here. Paula, your thoughts? I mean, we cover these a lot. There was a scare yesterday that I know you covered at Howard University. That was called an active shooter situation. Nothing came of that. This one, no longer an active shooter case, but a terrible murder scene and a murder case with a gunman still on the loose.
Yeah, we were listening to the channels on the way up, Bob, and a lot of what we heard was confirmed by the sheriff here. That initially they searched locations over in Cecil County, also in Delaware. They'd asked the Delaware State Police for some help. We did hear that they had a couple of SWAT teams from Delaware helping out as well, searching a couple of different locations. As you know, we have the description of the vehicle with a Delaware plate. One thing that does stand out to me is that this was allegedly carried out, according to the sheriff, with a handgun. And all the victims in this case were employees of this business that is not far from here. So we're going to walk up here.
Yeah, because I just want to show you guys. Hey, Nelson, leave it there. Let's leave it there. So this is the guy. Just to show you again, guys. This is the suspect. It's a tape to the side of a truck here. There's a suspect. You see he's got a scar on his face. He's got a beard here. This obviously a photograph from a previous time that he is with law enforcement, because we are told he does have a criminal history. And this is the man that the authorities are looking for, who they believe, they accuse of carrying out this deadly rampage, really, at a granite business here in Hartford County, which is just kind of northeast of Baltimore.
You were listening before I walked up. Did the sheriff say what his relationship was with the business?
That it was targeted. They weren't saying whether he was a former employee or had a relationship with someone, professional or personal, with someone at that business, but that he did have some connection to the business. I don't believe, and I was listening, holding the microphone, trying to write notes left-handed. I honestly don't recall if they, Indira, do you remember, did they say it? I don't think they said what his relationship, whether he was a former employee a disgruntled current employee or connected in any way personally or professionally to someone who and I'm being told they did not. So we had some connection to that business. We're not sure what it was.
Let's also show, Indira, over here is the Richland Ballroom. This is this is the place they've said for families to come to. Anybody that has connection with the business should come to this place here, Richland Ballroom, which looks like it's connected to the Ramada Inn, which is just off the road where we are and just a couple of 100 yards away from what appears to be where the shooting was and the business was. So that's another thing we can add.
And because, if we know that 5 people have been shot, 3 are killed, conceivably those bodies are still here, so those families would want to come here. The wounded, too, who were wounded have been taken to downtown Baltimore to shock trauma. Obviously, relatives of the 2 who survived the shooting, at least initially, now in critical condition, would want to go to the hospital. But we don't know yet whether investigators have told those family members who's been killed and who's at the hospital. So very well, whoever had someone involved here today could be at this ballroom, and then when they let them know, hey, your loved one has survived and is at the hospital, they would go into Baltimore, and the families, friends, loved ones of those who were killed today would be remaining here, we would think, Paulie.
Yeah, and again, Bob, you heard initially before I walked up. Can we repeat the vehicle that the sheriff said? It was with Delaware plates, but what kind of a vehicle was it?
Excuse me, we got the tag number. Yes, sir.
It's a Delaware tag PC064273.
Okay, and it's a GMC Acadia?
That's my understanding.
Okay, so it's a GMC Acadia. You hear that, Delaware tags. Of course, anybody who might be heading out onto the highway is going to be wanting to take a look and see what they've got of this. And there's the... We were taking that picture.
This is the suspect again.
Yeah, there he is, and his pictures are there up on the truck. Hey guys, I'm going to toss it into you if you have any questions or any observations. Again, that was the latest, the most. Yeah, go ahead, Paulie. Paul's going to do some work here as well at the scene. The best information that we had from the sheriff's investigators, Hartford County Sheriff, who was the first to actually give us any concrete information that this was indeed at one point an active shooter situation. But you have 3 people killed at a Hartford County, Maryland business here in the Edgewood near Abingdon area of Hartford County, southern Hartford County. 3 people killed, 2 wounded in a terrible workplace shooting this morning, guys.
All right, guys, so if you're on YouTube with us, you were just watching a live shot from our reporter, Bob Barnard. He's there on the scene. You can see the picture of the suspect behind him. I've been kind of efforting a lot of this information and detailing it in the description that you see below this stream. So if you're watching here, this is our one kind of digital stream that we got going on. We still have our broadcast air on the air, and that is being pushed to Facebook right now. So right now you see our live camera and everything that we have coming in, any tweets, any other video, any chopper video. We're going to make sure we bring that to you as much as we can. I see a lot of your comments, and it is super unfortunate and very, very sad. Of course, a lot of you saying same thing, different day. And it really is kind of a sad thing to see where we're seeing this same thing very tragically all over the United States, all over the world, really. But lately, here, I'm just getting a little sound from our camera here. But I want to stay on this shot because I'm not sure what they'll get. And if they do get more information, they'll be bringing it back in-house to us. So we're just going to kind of jumble everything together and get as much information as we can. But you heard him talk about this. 5 were shot. 3 of them are now deceased. They're still working on contacting these family members. And so that's sort of a whole process with police. They've associated him with a specific car, a black GMC Acadia, and they referenced the actual plate letters and numbers on the air just now. So they're on the lookout for that. That is a suspect that is considered armed and dangerous, as police have said. And they were just about a half mile off of I-95. So it's possible that he scooted off onto the highway, and they're going to be searching these interstates, of course, in depth over the next minutes, hours, as long as it takes. But all that information is out there: the face of the suspect, the license plate, and we're going to be trying to get you more information as we have it. Of course, it's kind of rolling in as we get it, and we're putting it on TV and then also on our digital platform here. So we'll keep you up to date with that, guys. Continuing on with this live shot, and of course, if we get some aerial footage of this business park where it all happened, they were mentioning Advanced Granite Solutions as the business, that the suspect is possibly involved somehow with the business, and that the people shot were employees of this business. So again, this active search remains, and as we get more details, guys, we'll come in, jump into this feed and tell you. Let us know if you have thoughts and questions. Of course, keep the chat going. You guys, this is specific to YouTube, so we're doing our digital stream on this breaking news topic for you guys. So back to sort of this footage here, this raw, unedited video from the scene in Edgewood, Maryland.
It's Radee. They told us Radee. American Granite? Right over there is public relations. Kyle, he does the and yeah. Kyle, I'm sorry. The name of the business, I was sticking my mic up and I couldn't write when the sheriff was talking. American Granite?
I was doing it and I was filming it. I'm in there, so.
Radee, R-A-D-E-E. American Granite. Advanced.
Now, you follow us on Twitter?
Oh, the GMC Acadia? Black in color?
Yeah, I know she's working on it.
All I can tell you right now is that
Does it have the name on it? Once you zoom in on that, I'll tell it. Yeah. Hey, Chris, bump on this. I don't know if they want to reference like from the year's shot. There's a back of that white truck maybe from that business that says Advanced Granite Solutions. So if you want me, just talk to me in my ear and have the answer.
Hey guys, thanks so much for being patient with our coverage here on YouTube of this shooting and insinuating sort of investigation and search for this suspect who is still considered armed and dangerous. Guys, we're working on getting some chopper aerial video for you, trying to find that source right now for you and route it in so you can kind of see the scope of the area that this was all in and that this was sort of contained to. It was a business, and they're saying that this person, the suspect, is associated with the business in some way. The people who were shot, unfortunately, were employees of this business, and police did say they suspected it was a targeted attack. So more information to come, of course, on that, the motive behind it, and all other details there. And unfortunately, right now, we just have this one camera that you're looking at. We're going to be working on getting some more footage, aerial views, and we're going to replay that press conference in case you missed it, detailing what the police have told us about this investigation and this ongoing search for the suspect. So that is coming up next. Stay with us here on Fox 5 Live on our digital channel, guys. Thanks for joining us on our stream. And if you have any thoughts or questions throughout, please do chat with us on the stream right on that right-hand corner box, and we'll try to answer your questions.
Okay, so we're going to walk across the street, try to get closer to this. Okay, tell them what's going on. Go for it. We'll just go. If they take our shot, they take it. Let's do it. And Kyle, I've seen crews going over there. We can go down a little bit, right?
Yeah, just go up there, you can go back straight up, and then back back.
Okay. Thank you. Cross over here. Hey, so I'm still listening to the air and I got a live mic. If you want, so we're walking across the street if you want to do it. It may come to us, I'll tell you. Yeah, guys, we're about to cross Route 24. We've been on Edgewood Road across the highway here from the scene, and they've basically released part of this area to allow the media to go down, and so we are going to do that. I'm just letting you know we're just on the move here to give you and our viewers a better look at what we're talking about. But if you see the highway signs here, you know, we're just like a quarter of a mile east of I-95 here on Route 24, which is just north of the White Marsh section of Baltimore County, and we're about to get a green light, and we're going to head across the way just to show you this business. I don't know if you were seeing our live picture a short time ago, guys. You could see the back of one of the business trucks here, Advanced Granite Solutions. So we're going to head across here and show you the business, which is right near a Holiday Inn. There's a Holiday Inn here. There is also a Hampton Inn, and we're across the street. We're good to go. We're good to go. It's across the street from another shopping area, and we're heading into this business park where obviously this awful thing happened today, directly across the street from a Motel 6. So we're just, again, on the move to give you guys a better look at this horrible crime scene. Again, next to a Holiday Inn. There's an Island Spice business here, and I see the marble and granite showroom. So you're going to see this here in just a moment, guys. And they have they have that part of the shopping area closed off with police tape. But it looks like the Holiday Inn Express is open, and we're going to come up here, guys, and let you see this here in a second. You've got a fire department ambulance from Bel Air, and we're going to just keep coming down here. And you see, we're going to cross over here, guys. So I appreciate you sticking with us, but this is the first chance since this morning to get a look at this business here. And we just want to bring you up here, and you see this incident command center here. Now I see the showroom, but that doesn't look, this marble and granite showroom doesn't look like it's blocked off. So we're going to come around. There must be more to this where some other news cameras have set up. So we're going to come here and let you see this as best we can here, guys. And so this is Emmorton Park Road. So this is right here, what we've been talking about all morning, the Emmorton business. We're just going to go a little bit further. Hey. So we're going to set up right here, guys. And I believe it's going to be down the street here. You'll see in a moment here, once we get our camera back up on a tripod. This is the Emmorton Business Park you've been referring to all morning. And there's a showroom that's part of this strip mall here, but where we're talking about is just kind of back behind this sheriff's deputy here, where you see the police tape around this nondescript looking building here, which is part of this business, this Advanced Granite Solutions, where a gunman who, born in 1979, so he's roughly 38 years old, Radee Prince, according to Harford County Sheriff, opened fire this morning, striking 5 employees of this business, killing 3 of them, sending 2 of them to the hospital, currently at shock trauma in downtown Baltimore, in critical condition. And this part of the business park here, Emmorton Business Park, is still an active crime scene, although Edgewood Road and much of this other area, which has a number of motels and hotels, has been reopened, at least at this point, guys. Not sure of the lockdown orders beyond here, but there is a lot of police tape here, so there are probably some other businesses surrounding that are still being affected, but much of this area has been reopened, while Maryland State Police and Harford County Sheriff's investigators look into this murder scene here, guys.
Hey guys, if you're on with us on our YouTube channel, we are following this story, of course, and you just heard the voice of Bob Barnard, our reporter who's out there on the scene. You can see right there at Emmorton Business Park where this all went down this morning. We're continuing to follow this because, yeah, I see some of your questions wondering if the suspect is still at large and the area is not on lockdown. That seems to be the case. I know there was a modified lockdown sort of procedure with Harford County Public Schools and with sort of the county in general, and they were putting that out on Twitter. I'll try to find that post for you to kind of show you. So there was some sort of lockdown in place. Now it seems to be that they're on the search for the suspect. You can see the bottom left corner of your screen here, the picture, the headshot of the suspect. He has a very notable scar on his forehead. They've detailed that he was associated with a black GMC Acadia, I believe it's an SUV car, and that they're on the search now for him, and they're considering him armed and dangerous. They don't know for sure, what he may be armed with, if there is anything that could happen after this, but it is definitely an active search right now. So some of you are asking about that. I'm trying to go through your comments here. Feel free to stay with us, guys, and join us on this digital stream. It'll be kind of a raw collaboration of different video and tweets and whatever we can kind of pull to kind of give you this story in its full essence and summary of what's going on. And our reporters who are there will kind of cut in as much as we have them doing live shots for our air. So for now, guys, we're going to stay on this stream. We're going to try to get a chopper video up for you to kind of see the aerial scope of where this all took place. And again, just to recap, if you're just joining us, 5 have been shot. 3 of them are now deceased, and the other 2 police said are in critical condition after this man that you see below our faces here shot these employees. Apparently they are employees of this business, Advanced Granite Solutions in Edgewood, Maryland. And the suspect himself is said to have some association with this business. Now, this is just near Baltimore, just about a half-mile off the I-95 ramp, the I-95 sort of highway area, and they've been able to identify the suspect. So they're on the search now for this. And I think this is just another sad case, of course, that we're seeing way too often in the news right now. And police need to go through the steps and stages of locating the family members of these people who are now deceased, who now have had their lives taken away from them, whether they're families, mothers, sons, daughters, everything. We don't know the identification of the people yet who have been killed, but I'm sure that will come out shortly. So stay with us for this coverage, guys. Unfortunately, it is some sad news that we're bringing you today on this breaking news here at our digital stream. Usually we have a bunch of different live sources for you. Right now we're going to stay with the story as long as we have it, as long as we have more details coming in. Again, out of Edgewood, Maryland, at a business park where there was this specific business, Advanced Granite Solutions, and 3 are now dead as a result of this shooting. So some sad news today on this Wednesday morning, guys. We will stay with you with more updates as much as we have them and come back on when we have more details for you. So just be prepared to kind of see some of this raw, unedited video of some of our photogs who were there on the scene, and we'll jump around as much as we have different feeds to bring you sort of the full summary of this this tragedy in Maryland.
Yeah, Holly, I'm with a gentleman named Kevin Doyle who works in the building next door to where this all happened. Kevin, you say you actually called 911. What did you see? What did you hear this morning?
Well, I was behind the building unloading my tools, and I saw 3 Spanish guys running back from behind the building. They were screaming. I could tell something wasn't right, and I asked what they needed help. And they said, call 911. Someone's shooting next door. So pretty much it. I called 911, and they all scattered, went different directions, and I started walking over that way, and they said, don't go, he's still over there. And
did you end up seeing him or this dark SUV leave?
No, by the time I got over there, and then people started coming out of the building, and that was about it. You could tell it was chaos.
Do you know this business? Do you know any of the people who work there?
No, not at all. We've managed this building for probably 20 years, and I've been working doing maintenance in this building.
Leaving, is that right?
Not at all. No, I saw 3. I was behind the building there, and 3 Spanish guys came out and said, call 911, there's a shooter.
Do you believe they were working in that business?
Oh, yeah. I think they were right there when it happened. I could tell. One guy was crying, and might have been their friends, or I think it was their coworkers.
What do you make of this today?
It's pretty sad, Hopefully people just get along.
And you were telling me, the way that they were screaming was just...
Oh, you could tell something was wrong.
Can you describe it? Tell the story again, if you would, please.
I was behind this building, and they came from behind that building, 3 Spanish guys, and they were screaming, and you could tell someone got killed. I didn't know someone got killed at the time, but I thought they were going to rob me. But this is the way they were running over, it's hysteric, and they were mumbling. And
did you hear any gunshots?
No, but before that, I thought I heard some arguing or yelling back there behind the building, and it didn't really catch my eye. And then all of a sudden, these guys came sprinting away from the building.
So you heard yelling voices, but no gunshots?
I didn't hear any gunshots.
God, what is in your heart to have this happen so close?
I don't know. It's crazy. It almost feels like it happens every day, but it doesn't. But
How
just
did
sad.
you know that you at least were the one that called 911?
Yeah, I felt good, I guess. Did a human thing. So I'm a Christian, so.
Did you get the sense they had already heard about this?
They might have, yeah, because they were kind of calm on 911. They might have gotten another call before me. I don't know, but it was. And then I walked over to the side there, and then people started coming out of the building crying. And then the first police officer came and stopped right here. Then some more came. And they all went down there. And
you get the sense that some had survived because ambulance took a couple out?
Yeah, I think they took one body out, and then someone said there was multiple victims, and I figured some were dead because I only seen to bring one person out.
What's your name, sir?
Kevin.
Last name?
Kevin Doyle? Kevin, thank you so much, Kevin. So again, joined by other of our media colleagues here after speaking to Kevin, one of the first people we've been one of the first people we've actually been able to speak to because, it's no problem, man. It's just because they've just opened up this area for us to come down and actually, as Paul Wagner spoke to someone over there, getting to speak to Kevin Doyle here. And again, just to show you where we are, this is the entrance to the Emmorton Business Park here, right off Edgewood Road and Route 24 off of I-95 in southern Harford County. What are you seeing?
A lot of law enforcement.
This is Indira Levine, my colleague, who can, because of the viewfinder here and also her zoom lens. What are you seeing, Indira?
A lot of law enforcement right outside the door. Oh, there's a woman right in the middle of my shot.
1 second here. Hey, do you want to slide out? There you go. So there's still, that's the entrance that I'm sure Kevin was talking to. What do you, and Indira was saying, and again, it's so bright here, and with my eyesight looking into the viewfinder, I couldn't see what she can see. The name of the business is right above the doorway there,
Yes,
right?
Advanced Granite Solutions. The door is open. There's 3 law enforcement officers right in front of the door.
And what caught our eye first, guys, as we were walking here down to the scene, was there's a showroom, a marble and granite showroom, which we're not sure, frankly, if it's affiliated with the business, but that caught our eye. But that is not part of the shooting scene. It's in this little strip mall right next to the Holiday Inn Express, the Red Roof Inn, and the Hampton Inn. But they're just across this entryway here, this street that is open now from the building, which is where the shooting took place at this Advanced Granite Solutions here in Edgewood, Maryland, guys, this morning.
Hey guys, I'm just going to cut in. It's Molly here in the digital newsroom at Fox 5 DC. We're kind of following the story, and I see a lot of you on the chat with some questions. I want to answer some of them quickly. I know you guys want to hear from police officers. They won't provide another update for a couple more hours, they said. So we are going to replay the original press conference once we have that turned around for you, and we're going to get that on our digital air shortly. But I wanted to answer also, someone asked the distance between Newark, Delaware, where this suspect was last associated with or has been associated with, and the location of this shooting, which is Edgewood, Maryland. And I looked it up, and actually the drive is about 50 minutes. It's 50 minutes. So it's definitely not super close, but it's interesting to kind of see where this was in relation to Delaware, because his plates, the car they've associated with him had Delaware plates. So they are on the search now for this man that you see here, the suspect in this case. Yeah, some of you guys are saying Delaware is somewhat of a hike. It's an interesting thing because Maryland is bigger than you think to drive it and to drive through it, and sort of the long coastline and the jagged coastline, of course, by the ocean. So I will play out this press conference as soon as I can get that quickly turned around, guys, and we're going to jump in with more live shots from our reporters who are there on the scene, because they're getting a lot more accounts from eyewitnesses and people who saw the ambulances actually take people away and really help save the 2 people who are now in critical condition out of the 5 people who were shot. So really sad story, guys, here today in Maryland. Another sort of workplace shooting. It's unfortunate that we have to see these so often, and hopefully not be desensitized to them, because they do happen all too often right now. Trying to go through some of your comments here, and just bear with me as I do that. But if you are just joining us, this is our digital stream on YouTube inside the DC, Fox 5 DC's digital newsroom, sort of following this whole case as we have many cameras hopefully going up and more reporters on the scene to talk to people and to kind of get more of the scene, more of the story as to what happened this morning just a few hours ago in Edgewood, Maryland. So again, this is just off I-95 outside of Baltimore, and about an hour, 15 minutes away from where we are in Northwest Washington, D.C. So that's a picture of your suspect right there. They're asking people to be on the lookout for him. You can see he has quite a notable scar on his forehead, and is somehow either driving or associated with a black GMC Acadia. That is the car with Delaware plates. And again, this happened at Emmorton Business Park. 5 people were shot, 3 of them now deceased, and the other 2 in critical condition. So as we get more details, guys, we'll keep you updated here in the newsroom. We'll take this picture full screen. I'm going to jump right into that press conference to replay that for you before we get another update down the line from police.
Okay, yeah. Stay with yours, We're fine. Okay. I'm gonna have Nelson Jones in a better position to shoot that. Maybe take his picture of my voice. Okay. He's right there. I'll stand in front of him. Nelson, take it. Shoot. In a minute, I'm gonna go back online. Shoot the guys and reach their work. They're gonna take your live picture while I'm talking. You gotta get a little distance. Usually when I'm talking, I should be able to. You can just, if you put your, that way we don't have to spin it yet.
All right, guys, bringing you more details on the shooter. This was the tweet that Harford County Sheriff put out. I'm going to take myself off the screen so you can kind of read it, but there's his name, Radee Labeeb Prince, born 11/5/79 and driving a 2008 black Chevy Acadia. There's the Delaware tag plates for your reference, and police are asking folks to call 911 if they see the suspect. They are still on this active search for the suspect, which they are considering armed and dangerous. So I want to keep this up on the screen, guys. I'm going to split screen this for you to kind of keep it up so we can also keep some video up on the other side as well.
Yeah, Holly, yeah, we are just across the parking lot here at Emmorton Business Park from Advanced Granite Solutions. We have a second camera here. My colleague Nelson Jones, just behind us, basically across Edgewood Road here, Edgewood Road, has a shot he can show you of a couple of gentlemen in these bright green T-shirts. They're very bright, almost lime green T-shirts. They are employees of Advanced Granite Solutions. I went over and spoke to them. They shook their heads and said they don't want to speak to us. They're speaking to their friends, to their co-workers. You heard Kevin Doyle a short time ago reference 3 workers who were running, screaming from the business. They were here initially. Frankly, they had tears in their eyes, and when I approached them, I had this microphone. They knew who I was, a reporter. They walked away. But you see these other gentlemen wearing these bright green shirts. They're still here. They said they did not want to talk to us, but they have not left the area. So there are employees of this business, whether they were witnesses or just here, know what happened. They've been speaking with investigators. One of them just a short time ago speaking with a Maryland State Police trooper, investigator here. But these are obviously some of the employees who were here at the murder scene this morning who are now having to deal with this. And again, we'll step out here and show you the scene here at Emmorton Business Park. It's the building over there, the brick building. Looks like it's probably, 20 feet tall, and there's still investigators there. An active crime scene, even though this is not or any longer an active shooter case, because this happened at 9, and it's at 9 o'clock this morning, just before. And shortly thereafter, Radee Prince, the 38-year-old alleged gunman in this case, fled in a 2008 GMC Acadia. That's an SUV, a black SUV with Delaware tag, with a Delaware license plate. And at this point, we don't believe he is in custody. You heard the sheriff there at about, that was just after 11, so almost an hour ago. The sheriff here describing him as armed and dangerous. Jeffrey Goller, the sheriff, said that Mr. Prince is considered armed and dangerous, may have been seen in Cecil County, so no indication that he is making his way down toward the D.C. area. Whether he is still in Maryland, whether he's actually in custody at this moment, we don't know, but our last report is that he is not in custody, and he is a wanted man, considered armed and dangerous, and according to Harford County, Maryland authorities, the main and only suspect in this mass killing. 3 people shot dead in this business that you're looking at here, Advanced Granite Solutions in Edgewood, Maryland, which is right off I-95, just north and east of Baltimore, guys.
Back this way. Back this way.
Other people from the community are allowed down there, aren't we?
Yeah, you know, it seems like it's a large business with a lot of employees. I mean, it's taking up a good chunk of this building here, right here at the Emmorton Business Park. We believe there is a showroom affiliated with it as well. But the business itself, in obviously bringing in the granite and cutting it and shaping it and delivering it to, I would imagine, commercial and residential customers, seems like a fairly large business. 5 of their employees shot. We haven't yet gotten a sense of how many other people were here at the time, and whether this happened in the front area or back in, the factory part of the business, where they're actually doing the work. We're just not really sure where inside the building it happened, and how many people were there. But clearly, it's a fairly large business here in Edgewood, Maryland, northeast of Baltimore, guys.
I appreciate it, though. I would have done the same way. No, I get it.
Hey guys, it's Molly inside the newsroom. Now you're looking at some aerial coverage of this Emmorton Business Park in Edgewood, Maryland. So we didn't get to bring you this chopper video earlier, but now we have it back, and I'm still efforting turning around that video of the press conference from police so that you guys can get some of the details if you weren't able to jump on earlier. Again, police said they won't update us again for another couple hours, so I will be playing this one out once I get it turned around in the newsroom. It takes a second here on the digital news desk, but I see a lot of you guys mentioning in the comments about the suspect, and it looks like we just dropped that shot, so we're going to go back to this double shot from Bob Barnard's camera. But a lot of you are commenting on the suspect's past and some of his past criminal record, and actually we did some research here on our assignment desk, and we have a little bit of information for you. Some of his charges, his earliest charges, start in the year 2000, so it goes way back. Various infractions in Kent County, Maryland, multiple traffic cases in Cecil County, and most recently some recent cases in failure to pay rent. So it varies a lot. There were some burglaries and a total of 25 years of sentencing. So a lot of criminal background, like you guys were saying. Someone must have been doing the research on our stream. So we do have people in our assignment desk, of course, efforting all this information and getting more details. Looks like our chopper shot is back, so we're going to take you back there. Just an over kind of look, a summary of sort of the scope of where this was. Again, it's about a half mile off of I-95 outside of Baltimore. And those are the details sort of that we have, guys. We're going to keep you updated with more tweets and more information about the suspect. Of course, we'll put that back on the screen. And like I said, I'm going to turn around that press conference so you guys can watch if you're just joining us on the stream for more details on what has happened here. They're still looking for the suspect, guys. He is Radee Labeeb Prince, birth date 11/5/79. He's driving a 2008 black Chevy Acadia with Delaware plates. So we're going to put that back on your screen with these aerials and then show you that press conference from earlier. When we have some new information inside the studio, guys, we'll bring that to you. We keep getting stuff flooding in, so we'll make sure we bring it as much as we can on the screen. But keep it coming with the chat, guys, if you have questions. I think it's some good questions here on the stream right now. We were definitely informed by Harford County Sheriff and Police that police may be taking a tactical stance, and they want us media to be aware of some of the chopper video or aerial footage that we do stream. Now that they are sort of on the search, what they've told us is that they're searching for him, and they're asking people to be aware of who this person is and more information about him so people can notify police and really call 911 if they have any information or if they spot this suspect. So I think it's more important too that we get that out there. So I'm going to switch it to this two shot here for you guys, and then, like I said, play out that presser when we have it. Any other breaking news or anything that comes up, we'll jump around to our different sources. Trace, your question about the other two that were injured. We were just told that they were in critical condition. So 5 people shot total, 3 are unfortunately deceased, and 2 others, the other 2 in critical condition, according to police just about an hour ago. So we'll play that for you in just a few moments, guys. Hey, Ben and Austin, thanks so much for your comments on our stream, and thanks for appreciating the way we do this. Yeah, we kind of want this to be more of like a digital, raw, kind of interactive way to bring you the news from inside the newsroom on YouTube for people like you and me who love the digital world and are part of that, and that's how we get our news. So we're really glad that you're part of it. Unfortunately, we are reporting a super tragic story this morning, but that's how it is often with breaking news in the morning here. So glad that you're joining us here on the channel. Like I said, we're trying to turn around that video for you. We'll keep these aerial shots up for you, and anything else, any other reporters that we have on the ground, any photojournalists that are there with live cameras, we'll bring that to you also. Asking about Trina, you're saying is it possible
just
he was
if you've been
disgruntled?
watching our camera, we've
That is
just been
definitely a
moving up
question
to get
that
a
we
little
have,
closer to the
for
business.
officials.
We're
Let's listen
now,
to
like,
Bob.
you know, as close as anybody can get right now. They've allowed us to come up toward the front of Advanced Granite Solutions, and you can see now the entrance there, the sign above and to the side, and the investigators that are just there in front of this building here, this office park, Emmorton Business Park here in Edgewood, Maryland. And so we're the first of the cameras that have made their way down here just to get a good sense of, they're telling us we can go a little further even. So guys, stay with our shot if you want. We're just going to get a little further down in front of the business just to get a sense as to where exactly this happened, what it looks like at this point. Obviously, the scene is inside, so we're not going to be able to show you inside, but we are now going to be as close as anybody yet has been able to be to see what's going on here at this business. They said we can go all the way. I would just say right here, Indira. I know he said you can go further, but this is pretty good, and there's no trees in our way. If we go any further...
Can I go right there?
Okay, so we're going to stay on this side. They're just, the local sheriff's office guys are just telling us where we can and cannot go. And this is good, Tony. So we're just right across from, there it is, Advanced Granite Solutions. You see the entryway to the building. Obviously, these are detectives, major crimes and homicide detectives, not only with Harford County, but Maryland State Police here on the scene. We saw representatives from ATF as well. But this is the business, Advanced Granite Solutions, in this business park northeast of Baltimore, where 5 people were shot just before 9 o'clock this morning, 8:55 roughly. 3 of them were killed, 2 wounded. Those 2 who were wounded were taken to shock trauma in downtown Baltimore, affiliated with the University of Maryland. The last report we had was that they were in critical condition. The 2 people wounded here, the 3 who were killed, we're not sure if any of their remains are still here, but obviously it's still a crime scene as they investigate this one-time short-term employee who allegedly opened fire here this morning. And that gentleman, as we've been reporting, Radee Prince, roughly 38 years old, still considered armed and dangerous and on the loose. And the family members, this is the business that you're looking at now, our best vantage point at this crime scene. This is the business, but there is a conference center affiliated with a motel across the street, and that's where family members are gathering. So I think if you were watching just about 10 minutes ago, we showed you some of the employees, the fellow employees of Advanced Granite Solutions wearing these bright lime green T-shirts. So some of the employees are here who were here or arriving to work this morning when this happened. But the family members who have been gathering are probably about 3/4 of a mile from us behind the camera angle. You're looking at the business. That conference center is about 3/4 of a mile behind us across 24, where they've asked the family members to come because they have not at least to us, they have not identified any of the victims, those who were killed. They probably not initially would identify the victims who are still recovering at the hospital. We don't know if the family members who have been told to gather here and come to that conference center have been told whether their loved one is alive or dead. But none of that news has trickled out in terms of who is who, except that they were targeted at this business here in Edgewood, Maryland, near Abingdon, off I-95 as you head north toward Delaware from Baltimore County. They were targeted by, allegedly, according to the investigators here, a former employee who worked here for 4 months and came back this morning and opened fire on his coworkers. All of the wounded and dead were employees of this business, guys.
Hey guys, Molly inside the newsroom now again. You see the picture right there, or just panning over, but outside Advanced Granite Solutions, which is the business in Emmorton Business Park where this all happened, and some new information coming down. The AP reporting that the FBI is saying they're treating this as workplace violence, not as terrorism. Another piece of information too from the owner of this business that you see right there. There's some people outside of the door there. You can see the sign pretty clearly in that camera shot. That Prince, who you see right here to the left of me, was a machine operator for 4 months. According to the owner of this business, and he did not specify if he was a current employee, if he was just a past employee, or sort of what the case was, but that he did do some machine operating for 4 months with their business. So just some remnant sort of details coming in about this suspect, whom police are still searching for. And again, they're considering him armed and dangerous. The details are right there on your screen, what he's driving, his Delaware plate tags, and just telling the public really to call 911 if they do see or encounter someone that may match this description of the suspect. Again, we're going to play out right now that press conference from police from earlier, and if there's anything else that sort of comes up or we have another live shot, we'll break in with that. But this will be the most detailed information that you'll get from police until they speak again in just about under a couple of hours from now. So let's play that out now. This is from just about 30 to 40 minutes ago from police in Edgewood.
Everybody ready? Once again, we find ourselves, dealing with a shooting incident this morning here in Harford County. Our thoughts and prayers are certainly with the family members of those who have lost their life here this morning. Families that, as we know all too well, are going to be forever impacted by the events that occurred. Around 8:58 this morning, a report of a shooting at Advanced Granite Solutions in the 2100 block of Emmorton Park Road, as you all know, just down the hill behind us. Deputies were on the scene within 4 minutes, arriving at 9:02 a.m., where they discovered 5 people suffering from gunshot wounds. Currently, we have lost 3 of those people. 3 have passed away. It is the result of a handgun. It looks like a single weapon was used in this incident. This is all very early preliminary information. I'll qualify that. We're trying to give you timely but the very best information that we have. We have identified the suspect in this case as Radee Labeeb Prince, a black male born 11/5/79. And we do have a photo of the suspect, and it is going to be, is it going out on our social media? It'll be out on our social media here very shortly. There's an active search, as you see, joined by many, if not all, the law enforcement, certainly all from Harford County, our federal partners, our state partners, the state police and the Transportation Authority, the FBI, the Drug Enforcement Administration are all on scene assisting with this investigation. We know that the suspect left driving a 2000 black Chevy Acadia with a Delaware tag of P. Paul C. Charles 064273. Early reports involved another vehicle, a Dodge Charger. That vehicle has been located and has been eliminated from the search. As far as we know, the suspect is still in that black Acadia. Again, I have to thank our law enforcement partners and our county partners. We have set up a reception center working, and the county executive, Mr. Glassman, is here with us as well. We've set up a reception center for the families over at the Richland Ballroom behind us, and for people who are coming, and that's being overseen by the Department of Emergency Services. this does appear to be a target attack limited to that business. So with that, I am going to take, we are asking that if anyone sees the suspect, he obviously armed and dangerous. We don't want anyone to take action on their own. We want you to dial 911 and let us know. So with that, I am going to...
Do you know the relationship between the suspect and either anybody there or that business?
We do believe he is associated with that business. What that association is, that's still under investigation, but we believe he's associated with that business.
You can't say, was he recently terminated? Was he recently fired?
I don't know whether he is, I don't know if he has an employment status or has been separated. So we're just going to say he's associated with the business.
Can you tell us anything about the people who were killed? Are they employees of the business?
All 5 individuals who were shot, including the 3 who are deceased at this point, do appear to have all been employees of the business. So we are still trying to identify and make notifications.
Spelling.
His name is Radee, R-A-D-E-E, Labeeb, L-A-B-E-E-B, Prince, P-R-I-N-C-E, with a date of birth of 11/5/79. There was a residence of interest in Cecil County that we have gone to and we have been through in our manhunt, and obviously the suspect was not located there, but that is where we found the car. The second car that was mentioned is possibly a vehicle associated with the suspect. We do not. We do not. At this point, we are looking for just this suspect. 100%. We do not believe there were others involved at this point of the investigation. We do not believe that anyone else was involved in this incident, other than the person I just gave the name of, and operating that Chevy Acadia when he left.
You consider him armed and dangerous?
I do know that he has a criminal history. I have not seen the entire extent of his criminal history.
Even though he targeted this business, you still consider him armed and dangerous?
Oh, absolutely. There's a individual out there on the loose who committed, one of the most heinous acts we've ever seen in our county. Certainly, we consider him armed and dangerous.
What was the narrative? What happened in there? Was this an ambush? Did he burst in?
That's still, investigators are just getting into the business, just being able to begin their steps. So to speak to motive would be way too preliminary, or to how this occurred. Okay.
Have you had any reports of Chris from the road and sightings of him?
There have been several reports, and we encourage, if you think it might be the vehicle or the suspect, we encourage you to call. There have been several tips. None of those have panned out to be a lead that led us to the suspect at this point.
Is this a Delaware tag or Maryland?
Delaware tag. Yes. No, we do not believe that there's an immediate threat to anything in the community. We do believe that this was targeted, with the qualifier that there is an armed and dangerous suspect out there. So certainly, we want people always to be cognizant of their surroundings and be on the lookout for this vehicle and this suspect. We at this point, we believe it just to be one handgun that was used in this crime. I'm going to have to wrap, so real quick.
Did the witnesses give any idea of how this unfolded at this point?
They are speaking. We have many witnesses speaking to investigators, and to say anything beyond that would, could jeopardize the investigation. So I'm gonna let that go. We're gonna get back together in a few hours,
Yes, sir.
and hopefully we'll be able to release a little more information at that time. Everyone who has been shot is in serious condition. The 2 who were not deceased at the scene were transported to a local trauma center. So, serious injuries.
For people who might have loved ones they're concerned about, what advice do you have for them?
If you have a loved one who works at the business, the granite and tile business, then we would ask you not to respond to the scene, respond to the Richland Ballroom, to the reception center for the families, so that we can meet you there. That would be the best offering at this point. And again, our thoughts and prayers go out. We have lost 3 lives so far this morning here in Harford County, and our thoughts and prayers go out to those families.
How many other people were in the business at the time?
I do not know.
What is the name of the business?
Advanced Granite Solutions.
Advanced Granite.
Right.
Were all 3 victims employees
All five appear to be employees. Yes, so what we know at this point. I'm gonna have to wrap it up there. Thank you. Not yet.
Can you hold that picture up, sir?
Well, you are looking at a live shot inside our newsroom here, and this was the press conference from earlier today, just about an hour ago. You heard, if you were listening just now, they're not going to update us for another hour or so, maybe two. So that will be the next official update. So I'm going to pull out of this and bring you back to some live shots on the ground that we have outside of the business. And if we have any more information, I'll bring that to you also.
Hold this or however you want to do it. I'm gonna get back to it.
Hey guys, what's up? We're back in studio. It's Molly here with Risa, our social media editor. And really, the only update that we have, thanks for sticking on with us, is that the manhunt is underway. There's an active search now for this suspect that you see in the right corner of your screen. I believe some of our cameras and some of our live views have come down, so I don't have a lot of footage to show.
Right.
So we're just going to kind of grab and grasp whatever stuff we have digitally for you guys to keep you updated. And of course, if there are any press conferences or anything that breaks in, we will break in on this show. I also know that Roger Goodell is coming up at NFL headquarters, so I want to bring you that live as well. So we're going to jump around to different stuff, keep it interesting for you. But first I want to talk social. Right, so when this all broke in the newsroom, what's your first go-to? You have to kind of find social content.
As a social media editor, I have to basically scour every platform you can think of. Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I haven't tapped into YouTube yet, but those are like the main 4 go-tos.
Yeah.
So it's constantly, you know, staying updated, seeing what's the most latest tweet, seeing if anybody's posting on their Instagram stories, Snapchat, posting any pictures on Snapchat, same on Facebook.
Yeah.
And the type of comments that I read, especially when it comes to like these tragic shootings, is just like heart-wrenching. And I'm pretty sure you all felt it. I'm pretty sure people were chiming in on YouTube and saying, you know, how they felt.
Yeah, you guys have been. And let me know again if you guys are close to this area. I know some of you are watching internationally. I saw some of you viewers from far away, but if you are close to the DMV area or this hits close to home in any way, do let us know in the chat. But I'm curious too, the steps that it takes to sort of grab some of this content. Hey, Tony.
Hello.
What's up?
Scoot on in.
We got Tony Perkins coming in to our stream. Oh, we'll pass it off.
I don't have a mic.
Tony,
I will.
So Tony, you came in early today off your normal shift for breaking news.
We're going to be doing updates throughout the afternoon. Obviously, in addition to what you're doing here, let me slide in a little more. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
in addition to what you're doing here on air, we just came off the air a few moments ago.
Yeah.
We'll go back on if there are press conferences, updates to the story. Obviously, this suspect is still on the loose. An intensive manhunt underway right now, so we'll be keeping track of that.
And is this you've done this before? This type of story, is it normal to sort of come down when things have sort of settled down and then break in when there's something that comes up?
Certainly. You know, obviously it depends on the story. On a story like this, obviously there's been a lot of information coming out during the last couple of hours, first with the breaking news, updates on the victims and all of that. Now for the press, you know, there's a bit of a lull in terms of actual live coverage. Obviously our reporters are out there still trying to get information, talk to people who might know the suspect, know some of the victims, et cetera, et cetera. But in terms of what's happening right now, a bit of a lull as the investigation and the search happens.
So now we kind of wait for more information to come out from police, from our reporters in the field.
Exactly. And with something like this, obviously, you know, they believe this guy is armed and dangerous. They have a description of the car. They have his name, Radee Labeeb Prince. They're looking for a black GMC Acadia 2008. So obviously this is ongoing. What's happening right now is intense for us in terms of coverage, a little bit of a lull, but the story goes on, and I anticipate there will be updates in the hours ahead.
Do you think he'll be caught? Do you think he'll be caught today? What do you think? In situations like this, from your experience in the industry, what is there like a general like, oh, this is kind of what happens? It's really you never know.
You never know. My suspicion is that police responded to this very quickly. They got his name and picture and car information out very quickly. Sometimes that doesn't happen. So everybody's looking for this guy. My suspicion is they'll get him today.
Wow, yeah, because there's so much detail out there about him, and there's people now searching for him. In Austin, I just saw you on the stream. You're in Northwest DC, close to us. So good to have you on the stream and watching. Do we think it's possible that he would come down this way? I mean, anything's possible.
Anything is possible, right? I can't really speculate on that, but.
How far is Edgewater from DC?
I want to say it was an hour 15 from when we sent out a reporter.
Yeah, I know it's north and east of Baltimore, so it's a little. I think that's about right. Hour 15, hour and a half, something like that.
Great. So you're going to stay on this, and you'll be waiting to break in.
Yep, and we'll be on the air as need be throughout the afternoon. Of course, we've got our newscasts at 5 p.m., 6 p.m., and through the night. But we'll be back on if we need to be.
Definitely. So continued coverage on digital and on air, of course, guys, as always. Thanks, Tony, for rolling in.
Thanks, my pleasure.
That's
now
great.
I'll roll out.
He's literally rolling out. And we got Risa in the chair. Risa, so social media-wise, when you grab some of this content, you have to then quickly act to ask for permission to use some of this video.
Yes.
Grab, these are viewers, maybe, or maybe not even viewers, but local, just people sharing content, getting it out there, and we want to maybe use it.
Absolutely.
So you have to kind of ask. There's a whole process, right?
There's a whole process because we working in the media, we can't just pull somebody's content and basically claim it as ours. First, we want to verify if this user, say they post a picture of an incident. We need to verify and ensure that they were the ones that took the picture, and then two, if it's okay, because we have our other sister stations who would most likely use, especially for like incidents like this, ensure that it's okay for other sister stations to use, and 9 times out of 10, they do say yes. When they say no, that's okay. We move forward and look for other content. And that's basically how it works out. The lingo is pretty much kept a generic, you know, hey, did you take this picture? Fox 5 DC and our sister stations would like to use, you know, the video or the picture. Do we need to ask anybody else for permission? Because sometimes, you know, say I were to send you that picture and like you post it on your Twitter and that tweet is going viral, because I may not have Twitter because I just sent you the picture to use. So you always want to double check, and that applies for any platform, any type of content that you utilize.
Yeah, now in this particular case, as Tony just said, it's kind of a lull right now. We don't have a ton of video. I actually don't even have any live shots to show you. We have the picture of the suspect here in this tweet from Harford County Sheriff. But in this particular case where I said this was a small county, a small kind of area, it proved to be hard to kind of find content, right?
Oh my gosh, it was so difficult. But the one thing that I did see was the outpour of people's, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening again, you know, because of the Las Vegas shooting, which is happening so recent, and had another incident the other day here.
A possible scare, but it turned out to be anonymous and contained.
So I think the people in America are just constantly shook when incidents like this happen, because I mean, it hits home. You just never know. You want to feel safe, and then like you mentioned, in a small area, something like this pops off.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do?
Yeah.
So.
And I know some of you guys are viewing this from all over. We have some people very locally up the street from us, and then also internationally. So really all over the United States and the world watching this stream. So it's really interesting to kind of hone in on this small county that is just close to Baltimore, but I just remember in that moment that everything broke, you know, we all do our duty to kind of bring this news to you, and in your realm, social media, it's this all-out search for stuff, and when it's small and super localized and contained, it's like, who will be actually snapping this? Will someone be Instagramming this? Will someone be tweeting this out, or are we just going to grab stuff from our sister stations? I mean, it's a tough thing when this is small and yet big, because 5 people have been shot, 3 people of those 5 are now deceased, and 2 in critical condition. So it ends up proving to be definitely a meaningful, big, not to trivialize it at all, event, and yet it's so locally, it's so honed in, it's hard to find information right away.
It really is.
Right?
Because you also think about it, I mean, you place yourself in that situation, would you stop to take a picture, or would you stop to take video?
Getting it,
So
and it's a small business, right? Finding employees that might chat or that might have been inside while this was sort of being contained or on lockdown. Maybe there were some eyewitnesses to the people even being shot. It's very, very hard to hear and very tragic. And there were some people that were upset. I think Bob even talked to some witnesses that were at least sort of indirect witnesses in some manner. And it was hard for them to kind of recount, like, hey, I saw people being pulled out into these ambulances and whatnot. So
it happened so quick.
Yeah, and imagine that being in that scenario. It is really scary to think about.
Really scary.
It is so hard to also think that these people this is just happening again. And we were saying that on our stream, you know. Oh, Trey, thanks for joining us. I guess it is late night over on wherever we are, the other hemisphere. He's international. So thanks for hanging on to us. But yeah, just to know that these are 3 other human lives who are now gone, and they have families.
Absolutely.
And it was, in Vegas itself was so horrible, and we're still talking to these people and talking to people that are survivors and hearing their stories, and it's so ingrained in us. And now this. Some of you were asking if the president will have any words on this. I wonder. It's possible. I mean, it's a small event, localized, but it's still 3 lives that have been taken, and it is close to DC.
It is.
So I do wonder. We're going to keep our eye on those streams to see if that does happen. But yeah, like Tony was saying, kind of a lull now for the footage. And then now you'll go to working on, I guess if you do see more content, you'll be kind of pulling that.
Exactly. I'll be pulling that and kind of back to going into regular flow right now. So kind of, you know, digging around for feel-good stories. But in the event that we do have this breaking news pop up again, then we'll get back into, you know, hunt mode Where's
Sure.
the content? Is there content? What
Right.
can we pull? So
And interesting
that's
too,
general-
yeah, from his years as a newsman, Tony saying he suspects that the guy will be caught.
Oh,
Saying
yeah.
that makes sense to me simply because we do. I mean, we've seen this sort of before, where they're kind of on an all-out hunt and things happen, and I guess the community helps, right? The community at large helps identify and find someone. Plus, the police are on this. The FBI has been talking. The AP has been reporting that the FBI is treating it like a workplace incident. That's what our web producer was saying. So, details pouring in, lots of information out there. I think Tony's probably right. I mean, he'll hopefully be apprehended today.
I hope he does.
in some way.
Or is, exactly.
Yeah.
And, prayers to the families.
I know.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. Aren't they gathering at a designated location?
I did see that actually. Let's see if we can pull that tweet. Right, so I was looking at that. I'm going to work on this while we kind of chit chat about it. I was working on that. There was a tweet from Harford County Police or Sheriff's Office about what they were doing to gather the families together. And you can't. I don't even know. We don't even really know the identification.
No, we don't.
Men or women, young or old. We don't know who has been affected by this. But you're right. It's another incident with 3 human lives. Let's see if I can pull that.
And then the other 2 at the shock trauma center, correct?
Oh, is that right?
I think so. I think that's where they were admitted to.
I'm gonna try to find it.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, if you're on our stream, thanks for sticking on with us during this. Like I said, I know we don't have a ton to kind of flash to now, but we're Fox 5 Live inside the digital newsroom, and we go up every day, but of course in breaking scenarios a little bit earlier today because we jumped in to kind of follow this. And we'll probably, as we have this little jump around to some other sources, there's some protests going on, there's some other notable events with the NFL happening, so we'll go there also. Yeah, this is being tricky for me, but see if I can find it. But I'm curious to see when they do release the information about some of these victims.
Yeah, I
All right, there it is.
They've been really good too at posting updates. The Harford Sheriff's.
Oh yeah,
Twitter
and that's
account.
what we followed right away.
Yes.
Here it is. I saw this earlier.
Okay.
Reunification of families.
Okay, so that's at the ballroom. And you know what?
I'll show you that.
Recalling this information, I believe our reporter Tisha Lewis was sent out to the ballroom. So
she went there.
Yes.
I wonder if that's her. I have a couple live cameras up to see if our reporters are out there.
Absolutely.
So if Tisha does come back with anything or she's interviewing anybody in the moment, we'll make sure we grab that and put that on the stream. So, guys, also our channel, just to show you who we are, we're on YouTube here. You can see the sign behind us, and if you want to subscribe to us, just press that red button and you'll see us as we pop up on your app or on your cell phone every day. We try to bring you this digital news, not always as breaking as this and as tragic as this, unfortunately, but Raisa works the social and I work the digital desk, and we go with it. So we'll keep you updated as much as we have more information. Let's flash it back to a picture of us, and there's a suspect. Yeah, so that's what we got for now, I guess. And if you have any more breaking video, I guess you'll probably send that over.
Absolutely. You'll get it too.
Insta, Twitter.
We'll be able to show on here.
Right.
In the event we find anything, guys.
Oh, and get
pictures.
permission.
Exactly, get permission.
The whole
Get the whole
steps.
spills. But,
Lots of stuff.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing how this story develops. I really do.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to kind of leave it here because we don't. Unfortunately, we just don't have any
It's like halfway
other
point.
stuff. I don't have a chopper up right now. I don't have the video. Yeah, halfway point. But our like Tony was saying, our TV air brought it down, and so we wanted to kind of stay on digital to kind of recap it, talk about it. But I think we'll probably go back to the daily stuff and then break in with anything that breaks.
Should anything happen?
Should anything happen?
Yeah.
Maybe not even on our time. Maybe this will all conclude at night. We don't know.
Yeah.
But we'll be watching for more updates from police. And police did say they were going to update us in a couple hours after their first press conference. So we'll make sure we note that. All right, guys. For now, thanks so much for watching. We're going to bring you. Yeah, thanks, Raisa, for joining.
Thank you.
Hanging
Love
out
it.
on the
Of
digital.
course.
We're going to bring you over to some stuff that's already in progress, just happening in the DMV area, whatever streams we got coming in. And right now there's a rally going on in support of hurricane recovery, Florida, Puerto Rico. This was scheduled earlier. I saw that this was going to be live from Fox, so we want to make sure we bring this live. There was going to be a march, I think, today as well, from Capitol Hill down to downtown.
A lot of people.
Good amount of people, I think, according to, this is supposed to be a big rally, lots of residents talking about, and it's already happening in progress. I'm looking at it right now, so we're going to flash over there.
Awesome.
And then anything else that breaks, we'll jump in again, guys. Thanks so much for watching.
Thanks, guys.
Buenas tardes. Como aquí todos saben, y estamos en la misma lucha, Puerto Rico fue azotado por no solo el huracán María, había sido anteriormente azotado por el huracán Irma. Y la ayuda que se le brinda supuestamente al pueblo de Puerto Rico está llegando como suero de brea. Nadie está siendo ayudado. Las comunidades privadas, los artistas, otros países han unido sus esfuerzos y han podido hacer algo por Puerto Rico. Trump fue a Puerto Rico, nuestro presidente, no mi presidente, el presidente que eligieron los demás. Yo no elegí ese presidente. Él fue a Puerto Rico a humillar al pueblo de Puerto Rico diciéndole que eso no era una gran, no había sido una gran devastación porque no habían tantos muertos. Fue a Puerto Rico a tirarles papel toalla. Eso no es lo que Puerto Rico necesita. Necesita ayuda para reconstruir sus casas. Ustedes saben cuántas familias yo tengo en Puerto Rico que no tienen hogar y hoy día están viviendo en refugio. Hay niños de esa misma familia que están en hospital porque se han enfermado. No hay agua potable, no hay acceso a llegar a las casas. Y no solo al principio, todavía a este día de hoy, es bien poca la comunicación que yo tengo. En México están pasando la misma necesidad. Y este presidente insensible va a Puerto Rico a ver el área, la mejor de las áreas que quedó después del huracán, para asesorar a ver cuál es el daño. ¿Por qué no se metió adentro de la isla donde están los sitios que no tienen puente, que no tienen carreteras, que no tienen acceso a nada? Ese es el presidente que está prometiendo ayuda y nosotros no le creemos, pero sí le exigimos que como ciudadanos que somos, no somos ciudadanos de segunda mano, somos tan ciudadanos como los ciudadanos que viven aquí, como los nacidos aquí. Los puertorriqueños, desde que se le ofreció la ciudadanía, no fue de gratis, señores. La sangre de los boricuas está llena, está latente en las tierras, defendiendo a esta nación y a la nuestra. Y no solo eso, Puerto Rico, Trump dijo que la estructura estaba mala desde antes, pero estaba mala desde antes del huracán porque por la deuda que ellos, ¿cómo se llama? Los millonarios hicieron. Ellos se aprovecharon de la isla, un mal manejo de
Hey guys, if you're still with us on the stream, thanks for joining us on Fox 5 Live. I was telling you that we're expecting this Roger Goodell press conference. They were expecting it between noon and 12:30. Unfortunately, it hasn't even started yet, but we're going to hope that it comes on within this time period that we're on the stream here today so that we can bring that to you. Should be kind of interesting to hear from him after their meetings wrap up. He's speaking, or purportedly going to be speaking from New York. So we'll be bringing that to you live if we do get it in. And if not, we're going to stay on this story, of course, as more updates come in on this current manhunt and search for the suspect that you see on your screen here to the upper right of the screen. Some of you are asking about more coverage of that. As we get more information, we're going to bring that to you, make sure we don't provide any misinformation, and we just kind of wait for more things to come out. And if anything breaks, we'll make sure we have that for you on our digital stream. So thanks so much for joining us, guys, from all over. I see a lot of you are on from everywhere, all over the U.S. and even internationally. So thanks so much. Okay, we'll check back in with you in a little bit, and hopefully this press conference will get started shortly. Hi guys, Molly here inside the newsroom. You can see they are setting up for another shot of a possible, I think, next press conference on the shooting from this morning. So thanks so much for waiting patiently, guys. We really didn't have a lot of footage or anything coming in until this shot just came up, and it looks like they are setting up for another news conference to give some more details and more updates from officials and police. So Lottie, thanks for asking. We're gonna have this up as soon as it comes up. And thanks so much, MJ and everybody, for staying on the stream. We're gonna keep watching this story as things develop, and if anything does come out of it, any other breaking news or anything related to the suspect, which we just had on your screen, we're going to keep him up on the screen so you can see. But then we'll keep a split shot here of this press conference, and when it comes up, we'll bring up the volume so that you can listen in. Same story, same thing we've been covering today, guys. It's an all-out manhunt underway for the suspects here. There's the picture, Radee Labeeb Prince, last seen with a black Chevy Acadia, and there are his Delaware plate tags. So anyway, looks like they're getting ready for this, so we'll keep it up here on the screen and then bring that to you once it comes up for more information. So thanks so much for sticking around with us, guys. We're still here inside the digital newsroom at Fox 5 DC in Washington, DC, just about an hour 15 from this scene right here in Edgewood, Maryland. That's coming up next.
Yeah. This is the one day I wish I had that tripod. All the rest of the time I'm glad. It was too heavy.
Check. 1, 2, 3. Got me. Awesome. Thanks.
Mic check, buddy. Mic check. 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 1 2. Mic check. 1 2. Mic check. 1 2. Mic check. 1 2. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. 1 2 3. Mic check. 1 2 3. Mic check. 1 2 3. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. 1 2 3 4. Mic check. 1 2. Mic check.
You're
mic
hired.
check. Yeah, thanks. I only go to 3, by the way.
Oh, well, that's the
Mic
union
check.
rules.
Mic
I know.
Mic check. Mic
Cost us
check.
extra if he goes to
We thought you were a detective with those lanyards,
well,
man.
you know.
Mic check. 1 2.
That gets me into all kinds of
Yeah, exactly. You don't even have to show it. Just have the black
Exactly,
case.
just black case.
Mic
Plus,
check.
I have some good looks.
There you go. Some of these are kind of going into the chest hairs, but they're not mine.
Have to fumigate the mic then.
Okay, tighten this thing. Oh, I see. Somebody piggybacked on me and.
There we go. That'll work.
You got it, bud?
Yeah. Mic not cooperating.
Is that you?
It's me. What do you want me to do?
There we go. I'm gonna go like this. Is it falling on you?
This thing.
That looks like a newer Rowie, huh? It's not like the old-fashioned Rowie, is it? Oh, is that how you tighten it?
Well, this little thing, I'm trying to loosen it.
Anytime.
Everybody good on sound? This microphone's falling down here. I don't know whose it is, but this microphone's falling down. Bottom one.
This one here?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll work on it.
This one is just hanging here. Dude, whose is this? This one isn't even attached here, so.
Nope. I'm surprised that everyone agreed to take this back. I thought Baltimore other stations.
Alright, is this gonna be, this is let's hope he's not any taller than this. Yeah, this one's like freestyle here. This one.
Well, this is mine.
Not this one, alright. Is this you, bud? I know you got that baby blue. We know that's you. You got the baby blue, man. You always know it's you, man. I like that. I want to. You are. Wow.
Wow, that's good. Hey, Christy, Rob, what are you talking about? Well, we do. Yeah. How about Troy? How about Troy? Right. You what? Hi there. I'm going to be live streaming. Now, there's something going on, so you know. Okay. I don't know if you guys have a picture.
Well, we get on the slide. Further down, right above.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can't hear me?
All right.
No?
Because I don't want to have it.
Should I ask Joe for a mic? Does that make a difference with the mic or
You called me. Yeah, still no.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's working? Not working? You can hear me? Sweet.
We'll probably do it access questions. It'll probably be the same guy I know before. Because I have that and I have a minute. And it looks like okay. All right, very good. Thanks. Bye-bye. How's everything going? You're actually with him or both? Okay. Okay, that's what I thought. But it doesn't. Well, that's and I don't know, how that's going to work. I hope it's the best. Yeah, sure. Everything going well? And Richard's I know you were in Richmond. See him, some of the pretty great trials.
still good for?
All right.
All right.
Plenty of room on there.
Well, we'll wait for another sandbag.
Let me.
I think
There's gonna be here.
Some of them aren't even attached.
Free floating. You know, a lot of people are optimists.
I think I'm gonna be okay. You gotta. Are you fired up? Yeah. Thanks. I'll call you if I get into a pinch. You hold me?
So they brought it actually then.
I don't know if they're walking out of there.
Oh, that's right.
You got a better shot than I do, so.
What are you talking about? I'm busy. What's happening?
What do we do? Whatever. Okay. All right. No, I'm I can go way over there. Oh, okay. Where are you there? Oh, there's something going on over there. Doesn't matter to me. For what? No, I had to. Can you see me from right here? Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Okay. All right, we're right in front of it. Yes.
Is there any way to test it or no?
Tell me when you want IFC.
Hi guys, it's Molly here in the newsroom. Just wanted to give you a quick update on what you're watching. I know it's been kind of stagnant for the past hour or so, but you still have the picture of the suspect for whom the manhunt is underway for the past few hours after the multiple shooting incident in Edgewood, Maryland. Now, Ryan, you just mentioned this on the stream and you were commenting about this, and I was actually just going to inform you guys. The suspect is now wanted in connection with both the multiple shooting incident in Maryland and another shooting this morning in Wilmington, Delaware. We're just learning about those details. I'm guessing that officials are going to be updating that officially at the mics here at this press conference coming up around 2 o'clock. So we're expecting this in around 7 minutes or so. If it's pushed out a little bit, it'll be just after 2. But hopefully they get that on time, because I know we're eager to find out more details on this and what they've concluded, or what police have officially concluded about this suspect and what is happening. Still, according to our reports, he is considered armed and dangerous. And again, he's been connected now to these 2 shootings. We don't have any really real details on the Wilmington shooting, but we know that there have been 2. And we know that his car also had Delaware plates, so he was somehow associated with Delaware, and definitely and was a resident, I believe, as well. I know some people were talking to some of his neighbors, and they've had a lot of outreach to some of the people who may have known him and his people who are close to him. So there's a lot of details that are coming in. Officials are going to give us the official word on that coming up in this next press conference. So thanks so much for staying on our stream. I know it's been sort of jumping around and a little bit stale for the past hour, but we're going to kind of stay here, bring you this last press conference, and then hopefully that is a somewhat of a summation or conclusion to at least what we'll know for the next few hours as this continues. So again, guys, keep the questions and comments coming. We'll try to answer them for you from inside the newsroom.
Mic check, mic check, mic check.
That's what I'm saying. If it comes out,
5, 1, 2, 3. Yes, sir.
No worries. Hey.
You got us? Yeah, I got you. Oh, shit. Your phone went to voicemail, John. I had to hang up on it.
I got a horrible signal.
Okay.
I don't know what's going to happen.
What?
I got a horrible signal. I don't know what's going to happen with your life.
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. You got us? Oh, we have a bad signal. A lot of live views here. Did you have me? No.
Hi, Troy. All right, thanks, guys.
Testing 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. You have it.
45 seconds. Well, I tell you, I'm probably going to reference the car as we finish talking about Wilmington because that's the conclusive link. So after Wilmington, I think bring up the car slate. And then I'll come back to this location here. And then I'll probably get to the side at that point.
Put it off, man. You, microphone. I got you. Where you at? I didn't want to start flipping all over somebody.
That's
you know
not
what I'm
a
saying,
good
brother?
thing to do.
I appreciate it, man. Thank
Yeah.
you. Sorry about walking into live.
No problem.
Yeah, so that manhunt going on in Delaware. Look, we're right now waiting for a press conference here in Harford County to bring us the latest. But I believe we have some video we can show you from what's going on in Wilmington. And what we understand now is that at about 11 a.m. this morning, so that's 2 hours or so after the shooting here in Harford County, there was a shooting in Wilmington, Delaware. Sources saying that the victim may have been a relative of the suspected shooter here in Harford County. The manhunt now underway. Confirmation coming that they're linked from the lookout for the suspect vehicle in Delaware. It is the same suspect vehicle lookout that we're getting for the shooting here in Maryland. So we want to go ahead and show you that car and give you that that information right now. The suspect, Radee Prince, is believed to be driving a black GMC Acadia, year 2000. Black GMC Acadia, that is a mid-size small SUV with a Delaware license plate, P0644273. Again, that is the lookout for the suspect vehicle in both shootings. We told you what's going on in Wilmington right now. The manhunt there underway after a shooting, but all of this began here in Harford County this morning at the Emmorton Business Park. We are now at a business called Advanced Granite Solutions. And what witnesses have told me is that the suspect in this shooting, Mr. Prince, is a short-time employee here. Hadn't worked here very long at all. Witness telling me that when he came into work, shot drop. I mean, am I there? Am I back? Well, the main thing is going to get the press conference too.
Yeah, we are outside of Advanced Granite Solutions in the Emmorton Business Park. That's where 37-year-old Radee Prince entered this gun with you.
Nothing I can do to work on my shot. Huh? Yeah.
Radee Labeeb Prince. That according to a man whose daughter works here. She describes the scene as very chaotic. There was blood everywhere. That woman was not hurt. Radee Labeeb Prince has been described as a loose cannon. Now, authorities say he's also a suspect at a shooting in Delaware. He was driving a 2008 GMC Acadia SUV with Delaware plates. P0644273. Again, the Delaware plate. P0644273.
Too many live views. Good up until now.
This is the first time we'll be hosting the draft. I want to take a moment and just thank both Chicago and Philadelphia for really doing an extraordinary job to raise the bar. They have set a new standard for the draft, created a new experience for our fans that we think will be extraordinary, and we are confident that Dallas will raise that bar even further. So I'm happy to introduce Charlotte Jones Anderson, who is going to give her view of what to expect in Dallas. Again, the ownership was very supportive, and we're all very excited to be going to Dallas next April for the draft. Charlotte.
Thank you, Roger. Thank you. Well, on behalf of the Dallas Cowboys, the City of Dallas, the City of Arlington, and the City of Frisco, we are so excited that the NFL has given us this opportunity to host the draft in April of next year. And we have had so many great civic leaders in Dallas and across from Arlington and beyond that have really done a lot of hard work here, hopefully giving a lot of ideas to the staff at the NFL, to Peter and his team. And we really think we have come up with an incredible idea and concept that will really make AT&T Stadium shine, but also will deliver a unique experience that is unlike anything that you have seen thus far at the NFL draft. But I think this is what the draft process is all about. It allows the cities to show their unique personality and hopefully invite not only fans from all over our region in Dallas and the Metroplex and beyond, but from those from out of state, that we welcome them to come to Dallas, to come to Arlington, to AT&T Stadium, to show their fandom and be a part of the draft in April. So you'll see a little bit different variation of it when you get there. A lot of those surprises are in store and will be released throughout the next few months. But again, we'd like to thank all of those who worked hard on this, but most importantly, the NFL for giving Dallas and the City of Arlington and AT&T Stadium the opportunity to host the draft. Thank you.
Any questions for Charlotte before she goes? Because I'm sure she stay for the rest of the show. Okay, I'm sure you know. Okay, so we had a very productive set of meetings in New York here over the last couple of days. We had reports from various committees, including the competition committee. Very excited about the season that we have ongoing right now. We reviewed the 6 weeks that we've played to date and the margin of victory. We talked about the penalties per game. We talked about our game presentation and the changes that we've made and how that's worked. Talked about the focus on officiating. All very positive very positive feedback on the game. We also spent a great deal of time talking about our partnerships. We extended a partnership and expanded a partnership with Ticketmaster that we think will be very fan-friendly, that will give our fans a better opportunity to buy tickets on a secure basis and give that to them on greater platforms, which we think will be very positive. And as always, we had a report on our health and safety and our initiatives there and the impact that that.
Good afternoon, everybody. Gonna take a few minutes, give you an update. Again, it's gonna not be probably as inclusive or as comprehensive as you might like, but as I said before, the investigation takes precedent in making sure that we certainly dot our I's, cross our T's, leave no base uncovered, and trying to give you up-to-date information as accurate as possible and as timely as possible. But there's only so much at certain points that we can release. I do want to let the county executive, Mr. Glassman's with us again, say a few words, and then I'll jump back up.
Thank you all. I just wanted to say that, first of all, that the Harford County, all our allied agencies, we send out our prayers and sympathy to the victims in this shooting. We pray for the recovery of the 2 survivors. All of Harford County's allied agencies are working closely with the Sheriff Department, with our Division of Emergency Services, to provide assistance to the victims' families. And we're working hard to make sure that we bring this suspect to apprehension. I would say that, unfortunately, like most suburban counties in America, we are not immune to workplace violence and violence in general. And as a small suburban community, it certainly sends a ripple across us, but Harford County citizens are reaching out with support. I ask them to call the tip line if they see or hear of anything to help us bring this event to a conclusion. So I just want to thank the sheriff and all our allied agencies at the Maryland State Police, the federal government, and all the agencies that are helping us today. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. I also want to take a minute and introduce Special Agent in charge, Daniel Bordford from ATF. I said earlier DEA, I meant to say ATF has been on the scene as was the case we saw last February, as is the case today. We don't have to reach out and call for help. Everybody comes, which is wonderful. It happens everywhere across the country. When law enforcement needs help, your partners turn out. So a couple minutes just to, I think the question came up earlier about our federal partners' role in being here today.
Thanks, sir. Good afternoon. My name is Daniel Board. I'm a special agent in charge for ATF for the states of Maryland and Delaware. On behalf of the men and women of ATF, the first thing we want to say is we're so sorry for the loss of life. Our hearts and prayers do go out to the victims and the families involved. The question has come up several times as to why ATF is here, and that answer is very clear. We are here because anytime there is this type of firearm-related violence, ATF is going to respond, and we are going to respond in force. We have deployed multiple groups from throughout the state, and they will be on scene to assist all our state and local partners until this comes to a full resolution. Thank you.
In the form of an update, again, there were 5 victims that were shot here at the business behind us this morning. And again, 3 are deceased. We hope that number, and we pray that number doesn't get any higher. The 2 who were taking the shock trauma remain in critical condition. I understand 1 just came out of surgery, remains in critical condition. We have not identified to 100% satisfaction those who have been shot or those who have been, well, we have identified those who have been lost today. So we are not going to be releasing any names at this point of victims in today's incident. We will confirm that the suspect in this case, he was an employee here. We have confirmed that, worked here for about the last 4 months, and today was a scheduled work day for him. There's a lot of questions about an incident that took place in Wilmington, Delaware, a short time after the incident that occurred here in Harford County. We've been in contact, our investigators have been in contact with the Wilmington Police Department, and they have confirmed that the suspect in their incident, in their shooting event up there, is the suspect from today's shooting here, Mr. Prince. So they have issued a press release from the Wilmington Police Department that Ms. Kaler will be giving out as soon as we wrap up these remarks. Any questions related to their incident beyond that, I don't know the status of their victim, I don't know the relationship, need to be directed to the Wilmington Police Department. Again, we do know from their news release, the suspect is still in that vehicle. That same tag number that we gave out earlier, I know there was an issue with the 0 that's not in there, but otherwise the same tag number that's in there, a 2008 black GMC Acadia, Delaware tag, P like Paul, C like Charles, 64273. Up to date, we have no information to say he has separated himself from that vehicle. So we are again just calling for the public's help not to try to encounter this suspect, but if you see him, please pick up the phone and call 911 and let your local law enforcement know. He's gone from Harford County up to Delaware. We don't know what his intentions are or what his next stop may be. Again, on behalf of the Sheriff of Harford County and the Sheriff's Office and our county partners, I have to thank our federal partners and our state partners. I received a call from Governor Hogan earlier. County Executive has been with us from the outset. So thank all of our partners for their assistance as we move through this, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the families who are suffering immeasurable loss here today. So with that, I'll take a few questions, and again, I'm going to qualify it with, if it's investigative, I'm probably not going to go into it.
Sheriff,
We're going to give a few questions, sir.
Any indication of a motive?
None. Other than we know he worked here. We think it ties into the relationship here at work, but it was not. He was scheduled to work today. He was not separated.
Has there been any other police calls to this business, anything else like that that might have been included?
None that I'm familiar with, but the investigators are digging.
Sheriff, have they determined the relationship between the suspect and the victims? Like, was one of the victims his boss, anything like that?
I have not heard, and as far as I know, we haven't 100% identified all 3 of the deceased victims at this point. It was a regular work day. He was scheduled to be at work today. He works here. He has worked here for 4 months, and it was scheduled to be a regular work day.
Can you confirm that he gathered those coworkers together for a meeting and then opened fire?
I'm not going to go. Some of the investigative part, I'm not going to go into that. Yes.
Have police communicated with the suspect?
We have been reaching out to, of course, the victims' families, those that we have identified, and we've opened the center up here at the Richland Ballroom, which we are going to be moving to our southern precinct here in the hours to come. We are reaching out to any acquaintances or family members of the suspect in an attempt to identify where he is and locate him.
Was this suspect known to your department beforehand?
I don't know what involvement, if any, we've had with him before. I do know that he has a criminal record. I still, up to this time, have not seen his complete criminal record.
So clearly you don't know.
You know his relationship to the second location, to this auto?
No idea. The one up in Delaware?
Yeah.
No idea.
Sure. So people was trying to get him in the vehicle, or do you have any indication?
As far as that would have to go to the Wilmington Police Department. I truly have no idea, but even if I did, I would still defer the answer to Wilmington.
So clearly you don't know where he is because you don't be in custody if you did.
Absolutely.
But he went from here to Delaware.
Right.
Should people here, should the guard be down? Do you
Oh,
think
absolutely
he's still
not.
in Wilmington? I mean,
no.
what are you telling people about it?
Well,
Able to go up and down the highway?
Same thing. It only takes 20 minutes to get to Wilmington from here. Certainly, I wouldn't say be aware. he seems, in this incident, to have targeted his workplace. I don't know what the relationship is up there, but I still believe he's probably targeting for a specific reason and not general. It doesn't mean he's an armed killer out there, so certainly he is a danger to anyone he encounters. So we should be aware, and he's mobile. He could be back here in Harford County in 10 minutes.
Did he try to shoot everybody in this place right here, or just a select few?
Again, the investigation will have to pan out, but my suspicion is that if he could have shot more individuals, that this incident would have resulted in a greater loss of life.
Sheriff, can you walk us through, to the extent you can you walk us through the timeline? What happened? Did he come into work and this happened moments after he got there? Can you just walk us through?
Really, other than us receiving the call, for those who weren't here earlier, we received the first call. I actually don't have it on this sheet. Christy, do you have those? Where'd she go? 8:58. The first call came into the dispatch center, or at least our cars were dispatched at 8:58, and we were on scene 4 minutes later. So does that start the workday? I don't know what day the workday starts.
Sheriff Gaylor, do you believe he went from here directly to Wilmington, or do you believe he stopped in Elton on the way? Or is that just a location you searched?
That's a location that is associated with the suspect. So I don't personally think he stopped there. I think we were at that house too quickly. So I don't think he went there.
So you believe he went from here straight to the Wilmington
Right.
area?
Timeline's pretty quick. I think he went. We're part of the investigation will be to recover any video related to today's events.
Is that how you identify him so quick?
No, I believe we were provided a name to start off the entire.
We were provided a name?
Correct. Correct. Just to even start our investigation.
Do you have ages or gender on the folks that have been?
We're not going to release. We're not going to release. We believe everybody's an adult. Beyond that, we're not going to release any information until we fully identify after they've been identified and the families have been notified.
Can you give us a sense of what's happening up and down the I-95 corridor?
I'm sorry. There were more than 5. I don't know what the total count was. We've taken everybody to the Southern Precinct in order to interview, but there were quite a few more than the 5.
Can you give us a sense of what's happening right now up and down the I-95 corridor? How far north? How far south? What are you doing at various exits?
There is a in the northeast corridor. There is a search for this vehicle and this suspect. Every police department, every police officer is aware of who is being looked for these crimes here and for the crime up in Delaware. So. Beyond that and the investigative tactics that are used, I'll just say that no stone will be left unturned until he's brought to custody. Right. And I'm just reminded, we have set up, working with the FBI, who's also on the scene with us, a tip line. So if anybody, again, you should not take it upon yourself to encounter this subject to confront him. But call 1-800-CALL-FBI, 1-800-CALL-FBI, and that tip line transfers into our investigators.
Sheriff, is there anything you can say about allegations that this isn't his first incident?
No, there's nothing else I can say. I'm not familiar with his entire past at this point.
How confident are you that you're zeroing in on him?
Obviously, I would feel a lot better if we had taken him into custody at this point. But I'm confident. It's reassuring that we know, as much as you can be reassured in an incident like this, we know who we are looking for. But a suspect on the run can be quite elusive, and he's so far proving to be just that.
Still just a handgun, you believe it?
We still believe it to be just one handgun in this incident. I don't know what. Again, for the Wilmington, I don't know any of the investigative information.
Sheriff, what would be your message to him?
What police officers found when they got here on the scene, what they saw exactly?
Unfortunately, as you see in any active shooter scene, you see people in need of medical assistance, and you have to approach that scene with a great deal of caution because we didn't know at the initial units responding whether the shooter was still on scene. So, our deputies have dealt with this in the past with losing 2 of our own last year. And we dealt with it again today, and I'd like to say we'll never deal with it again, but in the real world that we all live with, unfortunately, these types of events are all too frequent. Hi.
Saying if your suspect is out there listening to this, what would you say to him right now?
I would ask him, obviously, to stop what he has started here today. enough loss of life and to stop and just turn himself in to the authorities. We can end this peacefully and preserve his life and any more lives that might be in jeopardy. So I would ask him to consider what he's already done and put an end to it and turn himself in.
I know that you asked this earlier, but I just want to make sure that we have it. Did the suspect gather some sort of a meeting before he fired?
Yeah, again, I think that's part left to the investigators, something I'm not comfortable talking about how the whole event unfolded inside at this point of the investigation. Okay, couple more and then.
Have you been able to observe this vehicle at Easy Pass, toll booths, Jersey Turnpike, any of those tools in the last couple of hours?
Those things are obviously tools that are being looked at, but not to my knowledge. And one more, I heard.
Where in the building did the shooting all happen? Was this all in one room, contained in one spot? Where people did he go room by room?
Again, I'm going to leave that open. Let the investigation pan out some more before I answer. I think it took place throughout the business, but it's not a 100% concrete answer. Do not. No idea. We do not believe that in this incident here that he had any assistance whatsoever. We believe at this point of the investigation that what happened here today, he acted alone. I'm gonna wrap it up there. And Christy, we have any idea? As soon as we have some names, we'll get them out to you as soon as we possibly can. But family notifications have to come first. Yes. I don't think anybody anticipated an issue here today when he came to work, if that answers the question. From what I've heard so far, I don't think anybody thought something like this could unfold here today. Not that I'm familiar with. The investigation has a long way to go.
Do you know what his position was at this business?
I do not. I do not.
Thank you very
much. All right, thank you.
Attorney General
All right, there you go, guys. So less information than I think we wanted or expected possibly from that press conference that they're now closing down a little bit here. But we found out a little more detail that the suspect, Radee Labeeb Prince, was going to work today. It was his workplace, his current workplace, and he showed up with a handgun and killed 3 people, 2 of them critically injured. One of them, the official just said, is out of surgery or out of being in that state of being critically injured, which is good news. But no really revealing details on the Wilmington, Delaware possible later shooting that this suspect has been connected to. The officials have not really mentioned anything about it or detailed through that. They have not released more details about it. And we're losing our shot on here, so I'm going to bring you back over to the picture of the suspect that officials are still asking the community really to call 911 or 1-800-CALL-FBI if you do see this suspect. There's the information on the screen. And some of you guys chatting about this too. I know we were bringing you Roger Goodell earlier in New York, but we've lost that stream, unfortunately. So with that, guys, we're going to probably roll out this digital coverage and just encourage you to stay tuned to our Facebook page and our Twitter page, of course, Fox 5 DC. We're updating all those web stories in the moment as we have more details for you. And if there's another big update from officials, we'll make sure we add those details. And of course, we'll have reporters and anchors cutting in from the newsroom if there's anything breaking during this afternoon. So stay tuned to Fox 5 DC on all our platforms, guys, for more coverage on this. And we thank you for joining us for this stream today. It's been kind of a long morning as we've been watching this story, and I'm just trying to go through some of your comments to answer some of what you guys are saying. But yeah, Misty, really the summary is just that the manhunt is still very much vigorously underway, and they're asking people to help out with this. And I thought the officials seemed to be obviously they were taking precaution and notifying families first before they revealed the names of some of these victims, but that is sure to come out in due time. So we'll be waiting for that and watching for that. And like I said, breaking in from our newsroom with more. And of course, we have our normal evening broadcast coming on at 5 p.m. tonight on TV. So stay tuned with us digitally, guys. We'll be posting to Facebook, and we'll see you tomorrow again at 11:30. We'll recap a lot of this, and we'll go through what else we've learned on this. So again, thanks for joining us, guys. We're gonna close it out from here, and see you tomorrow. All right, guys.